Today we welcome the best hair in the biz, the heir to the throne, the ox cord boss lord, Brazilian Zorro himself, NIKO is.
I'm Stevie with my sherry. I'm on. Go! Come on, man. What are you doing? Headquarters in the home. I protected it. They threw rocks at the throne and I
So you were born in Brazil?
Yeah, Rio de Janeiro. I'm half Brazilian, Argentinian. Then I immigrated to Orlando.
When you were?
Like 7.
7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What part of Orlando did you grow up?
On the west side, like by Kirkman, like Dr. Phillips.
Dr. Phillips, yeah.
A lot of Brazilians.
A lot of Brazilians.
A lot of Brazilians, yeah.
So you moved here from Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
Was your family a lot into music?
Yeah, definitely. Brazil, man. Brazil is something else, man. Music is ingrained in our lives there,
It's a big part of it.
Nobody really followed it like professionally, but my mother sings and enjoys it, and
Does she?
Yeah. Brazil is a life of celebration, People are happy and dancing and eating, like it's not so much like, here they like work to live. Like here, like even immigrants like us, like people come to Orlando or, in Florida and immigrate and then just work.
Right.
And they don't get to enjoy it. And then they're just sending money to Brazil or something, wherever they're from. And it's like, we're in Brazil, it's like, people work, but they also
really enjoy
prioritize
their
happiness.
Life. Yeah.
They're enjoying life, And that's something that's rare in America. Because it's so like, you got to get to it. You got to make it. The American dream. You got to live. You got to make money. It's like all these things that they put them on a pedestal,
I was talking to somebody yesterday that moved from Venezuela 4 years ago, and she was saying that it was so different than what she grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
And how people, in Puerto Rico, the same. Like, people go out to drink a lot. They enjoy, like,
I was
eating.
just in Puerto Rico last month, and I try to go every year. I love Puerto Rico. That's like mini Brazil to me almost.
Yeah.
Like, it's very similar to Brazil, and it has that energy, and it's close. You don't even need a passport for it. Like, it's
small,
America. Yeah,
it's
it's
easy to
small,
move,
contained.
yeah.
But it's thrive. It's beautiful. It's colorful and vibrant. Like, people live life. They're happy.
You're a colorful guy.
That's colors.
You love colors.
Yeah. My company is Colors of the Culture.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, my partner, thanks, Joey.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You leave Orlando to where? Because I want to talk back about, like, you coming back and you feeling that Orlando's so different. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, me too. It's a resurgence in my heart.
Where did you move first?
Cali.
You did?
Yeah, I went to LA early, and I just been bouncing around because California is amazing, and it's similar to Florida. Like, I need tropical weather. Where else in America is like that? Like, you got Florida, you got California, and then you got little pockets of greatness. Like, everywhere is dope, but it's like if you don't got beach, you don't got ocean, like, and sun. Like,
You enjoy that portion of it?
There's no way to live.
Orlando doesn't have that. It has lakes.
Yeah, lakes, rivers, pools, springs. But the beach is 30, 40 minutes.
It's not bad, yeah.
And they're incredible beaches,
Yeah, they're pretty good beach.
Like, you don't go to New York beaches, Like, I was just there, and it's like, you don't even be in water. I go to New York all the time. I've lived there. I've never once been in water.
Over there?
In New York,
Really?
Yeah, not a pool. Not any kind of inviting situation. Here, it's like we look for reasons to be in water.
So then you grew up in the Dr. Phillips area.
Mm-hmm.
You went to Dr. Phillips High School?
I did.
How was that?
It was difficult, and I got expelled. It was
Why'd you get expelled?
many times. Yeah, I was a turbulent kid, man. Thankfully, music saved my life.
Did it?
Yeah, it did. I'm an only child, and growing up was just hard. I didn't, I wasn't sure who I was, and navigating that through high school, and yeah, it was quite a situation. So thank God for music.
What changed? How did you get into it?
Just my work ethic. Like
You were always interested in music?
Yeah, I was
though?
always interested in it, but I wasn't incredible right away. That's surprising because it's me. But like, you got to practice. You got to put in your time in everything you do, like 100,000 hours. I even have a song called 100,000 hours. Like 10,000 is not enough. Like, you got to just keep doing it. And anything you do, you got to find an outlet, And these are things that I bring up when I do like speaking engagements and stuff like that. It's like, not having an outlet is dangerous. Having too much idle time is dangerous. Like, that's how people get in trouble. Like, you need to find an outlet. and let it consume you, and practice, work. I wasn't great at high school because all I did is write rhymes. I just wanted to write, like I loved attention because I'd get attention and then I'd just be able to write rhymes in silence, like that used to be my favorite thing.
Really?
Saturday school. Oh, I used to go to Saturday school and then everybody would just shut up and I'm just like writing rhymes. Like it was very
cool.
symbolic for me, yeah.
How did you learn about music during that time, though? I mean, you were writing, you were learning instruments?
Yeah, a little bit. I was learning my voice. I was learning how to write and translate my thoughts into paper, Like I grew up immersed in hip-hop culture,
Right.
But I didn't know how to extract it from me until, like, I taught myself, I don't know, I kind of started at, like, 14.
Okay.
And then slowly kept getting better and doing rap battles and lunchroom. Like, it was very, like,
Rap battles?
Yeah, it was very 8 Mile,
Oh,
like,
wow.
I think everybody's upbringing at that time was very 8 Mile. So when you see that movie, it's like, that was pretty true, Like, that's a lot of people's reality, Like, and then choking, and then that's literally was my story, and then losing to the guy, and ended up facing the same guy. Like,
Really?
Yeah. It was a good.
So you were a lyricist, and still are,
Yes.
right? No, but I'm just saying, like in those times, all those kids, do you feel that they were close to you in terms of how good you were, or did you always have like that confidence that you left there and you were like, fuck, man, I know?
Yeah, some people were better, Some people just didn't have the dedication or the drive or the consistency,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I had it. I was good, but I had to perfect it, I knew what I wanted to do, but, like, it's hard to have something in your head and not be able to do it, But I had that confidence from being an athlete. Like, my whole life, I was an athlete. I played soccer.
You played soccer.
I did capoeira.
Okay.
So my whole life, I was always, like, active athlete, until
And
I
those are
finally...
self-discipline. They
Yeah,
teach you a
for
lot
sure.
of self-discipline.
For sure, especially capoeira, like that was... Shout out Mestre Lázaro. I don't know if you know him, but he runs an incredible capoeira school in Orlando.
Goes there.
Yeah, I was his first student. Like, he used to teach me capoeira in, like, the neighborhood tennis court before he even had a spot. And now he's, like, the best capoeira teacher in Florida or wherever.
It's pretty hard, right?
Kinda. It's very rhythmic. It's just like rhythmic martial arts, but...
Do you feel that gave you...
Oh, definitely.
Like, that helped?
I was a champion.
So it helped push
for sure.
your music?
And then I started getting in trouble. And that's why I rap. Like, same thing with soccer. Like, I was phenomenal soccer player, That's what I thought I wanted to be I'm going to be a professional soccer player. And then in high school, I started competing as well on the team. And then I didn't go to school because I skipped and I just wanted to make music. So I didn't have the GPA to play on the soccer team.
That sucks.
So I was like, fuck it, I'm a rap. And then,
so you made that decision?
Yeah,
and boom.
yeah. I was
At
like,
14.
oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't want me to play because I don't have the grades. I'm a rap.
And the rap battles and
the rap battles. That was such a moment.
It is a moment. I mean, those are really important. I mean, in the restaurant business, I don't think we get those rap battles like that.
Yeah, we get like Top Chef
Collab.
now.
Yeah, those.
I know those is TV and stuff like that, but
it's so different in the real world.
The kitchen is stressful, man.
Oh yeah,
the kitchen is super stressful. Behind.
Knife, shit, everything.
It's very turbulent, I couldn't ever see myself that.
You have a bunch of music videos that have a bunch of color.
Yeah.
Was that coming from your background in like Brazil is very involved, like everybody involves a lot of color. It's very vibrant, like you said. It's
Definitely.
a very great culture.
Mm-hmm.
Does that come from that? Does it come from the capoeira?
Yeah, I think it comes from a little of everything, man. I like vibrance, man. You travel a lot. I mean, you travel as well a lot.
Not as much as you. I'm a little boring, but
yeah. So you've seen color. You see how much color exists outside of America. Here it's very like red, white, and blue. Like Puerto Rico, like or Brazil, like thriving, like Mexico, like so many colors in the food, so many colors in life, and fabrics. I think people here now just wear black. And I fell in that trap in the last 2 years.
I'm in that trap.
I'm like, I'm just going to wear black, and then I was like, I'm just wearing black all the time. Like, that's not inviting.
I'm a failure in that because I'm wearing black. It's just easier, man. I don't have to think about it.
It's funny. I learned that from Kweli, right? Because he plays a lot of shows. At one point, he played fucking 250 shows a year, and I was on a lot of them. That's why my life and career really changed, because I was able to tour so much with him. And I was always like, damn, I got to have a new outfit every time. And then I learned from him, he's like, yeah, just wear black. It's a uniform. And I'm like, damn, that's smart. So then I started just wearing black.
Cheaper.
Yeah, you would think so. But then it's just not as fun.
It's not.
And then you're just that guy that's only wearing black and shit. Like,
so tell us a little bit more about the Talib Kweli thing. Because how did you get discovered by him?
I was in Orlando making my rounds, you know, as an amateur MC, opening up a lot of shows and doing features and trying to get my career off. And it's a little harder. It was, at least, maybe at the time. This is pre-social media boom, you know? Like, right. So it's hard to make a name. You had to really put in work in the street, you know? I'm opening up every show. I'm trying to take every opportunity. And then, you know, the universe just brought Kweli to Orlando. Right. Because his son was going to Full Sail at the time. Okay. So he was in Orlando just casually chilling, and he decided to go out. He went to the nightclub by himself. Which is all non-traditional Kweli behavior. Okay. He said, I'm just going to go out and have a vibe, you know. And he went to Soundbar, formerly Soundbar. It was a back booth. Okay. And he walked in, and my boy was running the night at the time, Shake and Bass. I don't know if you know about that, but that was, rest in peace of Big Mac. Was a great friend of mine who passed away. Great DJ, great person. Mm-hmm. So they used to have an event there called Shake and Bass, like Moombathon, like weird techno, fucking EDM, electro, dance, jungle tribe shit. I don't know. Okay. And yeah, weird stuff. And my boy Triska was running it. You know, he was like the promoter, and he saw Kweli there, and he's like, Kweli, what you doing here by yourself? You know, like, I got you. Come over here. And he got him a table, got him drinks, got him some people. He was hanging out, you know, took care of him. And then at the end, you know, he's like, yo, thank you, how much I owe you? I was like, no, I got you, don't worry about it. But take my boy's CD. I had a CD at the time called Chill Cosby, which didn't age too well because of the name. And he gave him my CD. He's like, just listen to it, you know. We might want a feature. And then next day he hits him and he's like, yo, we would like to do a song with you, you know, how much is it? And then Kweli was like, shit, he's dope, I'll do it, you know. And then we paid him mad monies, you know, for independent artists. And I remember getting a text like, hey, we got a studio session with Talib Kweli today. And I was like, what? What do you mean? He's like, yeah, I can't talk right now, but just book the studio. Okay. And I was like, oh, okay, that's crazy. And then we booked Studio 18, actually. Shout out to Connor. And we did the song. And it was like life-changing. I just saw the picture recently. I was a kid. And it was life-changing. I don't know, young 20s, something like that, yeah. And we did it, and it was incredible. And I was like, all right, that's great. I got a Talib Kweli song, you know. But in hip-hop, usually when you do features, it doesn't really translate into like friendship or even support. It's kind of just like a business deal, you know, which I had done before. So I was like, all right, I got a song with him. Now what am I going to do with it? You know, how am I going to
market it, put it out there?
You know, it was a whole different beast. And then the universe just kept conspiring to unite us. You know, he kept coming back to Orlando, and then I'd take him out to go to the club and shit, or I'd take him out for food. We go eat. And we just develop a friendship, you know. And I had management at the time. They were pretty aggressive and assertive managers, you know. And they kept just trying to like create situations, and they kind of wooed him, and you know, chatted with him, and he was like, "Yo, I want to sign you." Okay. You know, but it took just us developing a friendship, and him like, "Oh, this guy's amazing," you know, because I chill with him, and then at the end, I'd just be freestyling in his ear. Like we would just be in the hotel room smoking weed. And I'd just be freestyling the whole time. I was like, I'm going to get these bars off, you know.
To see if he would like it?
Yeah. I mean, it's undeniable. You're going to love it, you know. You know, so I was just like.
I mean, obviously.
I was like, I just need a chance to show it, you know. So I was very assertive as well about it. And thankfully, you know, it developed into a crazy relationship, you know. And that's right when he was starting his label. Okay. You know, so his independent label, Javori Media. And yeah, and then he released my album, and it's been history since then. I've been touring with him. We've hit 25 countries.
That's pretty cool.
You know, we've hit almost every state. Like, it's changed my life, you know.
From the inception of when you got into the music business to now, obviously a lot has changed, right? And you're kind of like a small business. You have the small business mentality that you have to evolve in the music business. How do you think has that evolved? Because that, I mean, every story I hear, it's almost related to me in the sense of I just do food, right? You have to figure out marketing. You have to figure out your music videos. You have to figure out what direction you're going to go. It's like all obviously building a brand.
Yeah, I mean, you're learning every day, man, because everything is changing every day. Like the landscape is changing. It's not like, 10 years ago, 8 years ago, 6 years ago, the intentions were different, like, now it's like then it's like, all we need to do is just get on a blog, like about when I first started, like that was what it, we just got to get on a big blog, big website, a publication that'll showcase our art. That was a goal. Okay. And then now it's like you have to be making content and you have to be spread out on all platforms and TikTok. And it's like, and I've been trying not to give in too much to that.
It's a lot of work.
But it's like, it's also my business, like, and the more I do, the more I reap, Right. But it's it's stressful, man. It's stressful having to brand yourself and pimp yourself out on social media, Like, I hate it.
Do you?
Oh, it's the worst for me. I've learned to kind of make it fun, like on Instagram and stuff like that, and enjoyable and inviting, but I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy having to be so vain all the time,
It happened to us, I think, more than ever in the restaurant business during the pandemic. Because you had to be really cool. I related it to high school. Like I had to wear new clothes every day, like you said, and try to figure out how I'm going to be cool today in front of all my peers that are the other restaurants looking for sales.
Yeah, like monetize. Another word I hate. It's right up there. Foodie. Fusion and monetize, and monetizing the fusion of being a foodie. Like that sentence right there, terrible. Like that's the word now, monetize. How we gonna monetize? How we gonna, especially with, COVID happened and pandemic happened. Thankfully for me, the pandemic was the greatest experience ever.
Was it?
It was. My life changed, In
what sense?
Well, I started working with Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
During the pandemic a lot more because I wrote an incredible song.
Okay.
And he loved it. So it was incredible. And then I went to Yellow Springs and my life changed. I started performing with him. He was doing like pandemic shows.
He was doing
Yeah, and I was getting COVID tested every day.
Wow.
Every day. My nose got violated. I'm still suffering the ramifications of my nose. And it was just like, it was the only show and party and event in the world was there, and it was super like low key and exclusive, like everybody's getting tested and then everybody's flying in, like it was amazing. I met all my heroes, David Letterman, Bill Burr, Louis C.K., like everybody was just coming, all these incredible comics and actors, because they just wanted to hang, and you could only go see Chappelle because he's the first person who had like the testers and stuff. He had a whole machine, like before it was a thing, like when it was like hundreds and thousands of dollars to have the tester, and he would have it, and he had like a huge crew that were ensuring safety, and every day you'd wake up.
I saw some of the videos. They were really cool.
Oh my God. It was life-changing, man.
So in those experiences, what do you feel has transpired in terms of changing your life? Because you say like this past experience, it changed your life in the sense just you felt more comfortable, more confident that you were in a room with all these people and they liked what you put out. Like, because I
was there as a peer. Like I've been in those
like,
rooms for years, but it's different when you're there as a peer. When you're there as a homie. I was always there as a homie sometimes, and it takes an introduction. Oh yeah, peace, nice to meet you. How you doing? But when you're there as a peer and they know your work, it's different. People start like, oh okay, oh yeah, no, you belong here.
Right.
That's a good feeling, man.
I hope that's why I'm saying. Like, obviously, it's kind of a confidence boost.
Definitely.
Because you're like, you've been fighting all along to get to that, and all of a sudden, that opportunity comes about in ways that you didn't plan it.
Right. You couldn't plan that. And it was like the pandemic. You couldn't plan that. Like, it was weird, man. We were fucking, getting groceries and wiping them down. Like, it was a strange time, bro.
It was.
And luckily, I was in Florida, so I was able to be real creative. You know, we have a bunch of studios, so we were able to bypass the restrictions, you know, and just go create art and just lock myself in the studio. So I made like hundreds of songs in the pandemic. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So now you have an arsenal.
I have an arsenal. Now it's like I'm slowly getting to the process of releasing it, you know, because that's like the hardest part. For me, the creation is there. You know, when you live life, it's easy to make art about it because you're living it. You know, you're moving. It's hard to create art when you're like
stagnant.
Yeah, stagnant, or just like, you know, just sitting somewhere. You know, it's like
you don't feel the energy.
You're in a room vacuum. You know, people think that I'm just gonna lock myself in a room and make art, and it's like, yo, you drive yourself crazy like that.
So the pandemic kind of drove you a little bit nuts.
Yeah, it did, because I went from touring like hundreds of shows a year to like nothing. And it was weird, and being at home, like, and not having things to do and shit.
Being at home, like,
yeah, like,
I don't know anything about this.
Yeah, it was strange, man, you know, but I needed it. I think we all needed it. It was refreshing. It was like I never had such clarity and time to be free and just think and map things out. Like, so that was a good part about it.
So did your business outlook change as well? Like, do you still have those aggressive managers that you had in the past?
No, I don't.
Has all that changed?
I run more of the show now. You know, I had to be more understanding that it's in my hands.
Right.
You know, and I think that has changed. It's improved a lot, you know, like I can't depend on other people to make decisions for me all the time, you know. Sometimes I'm spoiled, you know, and I want to continue being spoiled, you know, because I just want to focus on the art.
Right.
But it's like, taking more initiative, being involved with it, I think has helped a lot. You know, because now everybody's a brand. You know, it's like, that's another word, brand. I hate it. Fuck, I'm a brand. Monetize my brand. You know? Make content. Another word.
There's a lot of words that you.
There's not that many words I don't like. But
there's a few.
There's a few that I don't like, and it's like brand, bro. Like everybody's a brand. Every woman now is that I potentially want to
create something.
I want to create something with. They're a brand. Follow my brand.
It's a different time. Yeah,
it's
a lot more creative in that sense, and a lot of good opportunities. Like
yeah. That's the way to look at it.
You know, I read and I've seen that. You know, one of your videos was inspired by Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and the other one by Cheech and Chong.
Yeah.
And
shout out to Vic on the Cheech and Chong one. Yeah, that was great.
So the question is, like, and I'm sorry that I keep looking at it as a business because I just want to understand it. Is like those videos, you know, like the creative video portion of the music business was a little bit more intense before than it is now. I feel like now it's a little bit more like living your surroundings, just, you know, like the Sunday's mass that Kanye does, that whole like inclusion, all that. Do you think the business have changed in that way?
I just think it's easier now, you know, and harder, you know. Like, it's funny, I was talking to Kweli again about this, and when he had a label before he had this label, and he had an artist on there, and he showed me their video, and he's like, I paid $50,000 for this video. Right. And this is maybe 2002 or something. And the video was good. It was a good video, a $50,000 video now. You know, I could have done that video for $2,000 now. Right. And then I was like, damn, you never gave me $50,000 for a video? You know, and he's like, the times have changed. Like, now a $50,000 video, like, what? Like, you go shoot that in space. You know, like, and you know, like, the times has changed. Now, like, everybody.
I don't think it's a necessity.
Yeah, you could do that on your phone. I don't, because I'm still like a purist, and, you know, we spend a lot of money on videos, not as much as I should. I could spend more. You know, the more you spend, the better it is, essentially, you know. Sure. But it's become so quick to do, you know. Again, that content creation. Like, bro, there's people who are making huge livings off TikTok, just doing little TikToks. I know. They're making way more than people who are investing all their life and time into music videos and making this crazy art just so it can go on Instagram, you know. And it's going to look the same way. It's going to be pixelated. It's not going to look as good. You know, like, that's a hard battle.
So you feel it's more intense now in the sense that it's so easy that you have to do more of it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
It was more expensive before, but you had to do less of it. Now it's more
and you
intense.
get different results, and now the results are not guaranteed. Pretty much, like if you had a $50,000 video 10 years ago, it's probably going to succeed in some form. If you drop enough money into something, unless you're a complete idiot, like it should work, right? Like an investment, like you would think so, right? If you. You
were talking about the investments you made in people singing with you in songs, right?
Yeah.
Right? You said, well, you would pay that person. Did you see a benefit out of that?
Yeah, absolutely. Every time, even if it's just a name. Sometimes, younger artists need to attach themselves to something that's more established, like that's just like somebody, an incredible chef. It's like you got the illest chef, but where does he cook? Right. Sometimes you got to go in and kind of be a chef. Before you're a chef de cuisine, you kind of got to be a sous chef, or you got to do this.
You got to pay your dues.
You got to pay your dues, And I know that case. I also know people who spend a lot of money on things and don't get results. And that's a worse feeling, as an investor too, outside of just music, because music is not guaranteed. Art is not something that people think they need. And that's the worst, because people literally live on art.
Funny you say that, though, because
it's a commodity. It's like
I have to disagree with you in a sense because, for us, for example, now creating a restaurant, the first thing that I'm asking people so I can understand their perspective is to make me a playlist. I want to hear the music that you want to hear in the place.
Right, but see, a playlist, like how much money do you spend on music?
No, I don't spend a lot of money on music.
See, how much money do people spend on music, on art directly?
Well, Spotify, but I also like to go to concerts. Spotify don't give us
nothing.
No, I know that, but I like to go to concerts. Right. I like to have that feeling.
Yeah, and merch, like that's how you support art. But now with the playlisting and all these streaming services, like nobody buys music.
No, I know. You guys get paid nothing.
And even like CDs, like now you can't even make CDs because CDs are obsolete. Nobody has anywhere to play
Nobody
CDs.
Can play it.
So now I have vinyl, and
you do.
And tape cassette. Like the tape cassette.
Really?
Yeah, tape cassette sells more than a CD. People will buy it because it's something that is tangible. Wow. And we're kind of going back into that because everything's so digital. And you don't really have a hold of anything like Spotify. You don't actually have those songs. But you do. You have the whole library of anything you want, 2 clicks away.
To play whenever you want
for $10. It's kind of crazy because I pay for Spotify, and they pay me very little. They might not even pay me enough to pay them. It's kind of a weird concept. Like they don't give me free Spotify.
No.
But I what am I going to do? Download music and have,
It's just easy.
Yeah.
Right.
It's convenient. I travel a lot, so it's like now I have talking about playlists. I'm on deck right now if I want to listen to anything,
It's easy.
Yeah, it's easy.
Convenience.
And I think convenience is dangerous. Convenience is like the death of the art now. I hate convenience. Me personally, I don't have convenience. I've never owned a laptop in my life.
You've never.
I don't have convenience in my life. I don't like things to be easier for me,
I like that.
I have a phone, which is just a laptop, it's an iPhone, same thing. But certain things like that, I make it harder for me, because I don't want to have too many, easy U-turns and the shortcuts, I want the harder way. I want to get there the harder way.
So how did you discover Pig Floyd's?
Well, that's the area I spend a lot of time in,
Do you?
Yeah, I love it. I've been...
Culinary-wise, what is your favorite cuisine?
Well, I'm biased. It's definitely Brazilian.
Is it?
But I would say the top is Peruvian. Peruvian's it don't get better than that,
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's amazing, man.
But if I was to ask you a meal right now, it would be a Peruvian meal? Like your favorite meal?
It depends on the day. I'm a contextual eater.
Wow.
It depends on how my energy feels, I don't, I like to eat something that goes with the time of how I'm feeling, I'm just not like a gluttonous
every day.
Every day. I'm not a gluttonous eater, and I don't eat snacks. That's why I look like this. I'm a meal eater. I like meals.
You like big meals.
Yeah, I'm not so much gluttony, but I like meals. I'm not a guy who just be eating chips and snacks and Cheetos. I don't eat that shit. I like a meal.
At Pig Floyd's, you do rice and beans, corn, and two-meat combo.
I do.
Yeah.
2-meat combo, the brisket. And
that's a meal. Do you do that for lunch?
I never finish it, though.
And you take it out.
I can't finish that. I can. I don't want to. That's another American concept. Is just like I'm stuffed. They love saying that. I'm full, I'm stuffed. Mm-hmm. You don't say that in Brazil. You don't say tô cheio. You say tô satisfeito. Like I'm satisfied. Satisfeito. Yeah. Like here everybody just wants to pig out. Pun intended. I want to eat a whole meal and I want to be so full. I'm so full. And
I want to leave this place rolling.
Yeah, it's like who wants to eat like that?
Americans.
Yeah, that's why I can never do dessert.
Including me. I mean, on my cheat meals, it is legendary.
Yeah,
my cheat meal tomorrow is going to be fucked up.
What is it going to be?
I ordered.
You already planned ahead?
Oh, I went on Goldbelly.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's a website that you could order from different restaurants in the United States.
Oh.
So I ordered cacio e pepe pizza from Pisana that arrives tomorrow.
Wow.
And I'll heat it up in my...
Cacio e pepe pizza.
Yeah.
Have you had it?
I've had it, yeah.
Is it incredible?
It's great. It's amazing. So what's in the future? What's next? What do you want to do?
A lot.
You want to buy a farm?
Yeah,
I want to disappear?
A lot of music. I'm dropping a lot of records. I just turned in the album this week. My next album called The Adventures of the Young Viejos.
Okay.
And it's amazing.
Adventures of the Young Viejos.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's incredible. There's a bunch of legends on there. I've been shooting videos. I just dropped 2 videos from that album. I got one coming out next week that we shot in Puerto Rico. I got to show it to you. I got it here. Yeah, man, a lot. Putting out a lot of records. I've been producing a lot. I loaded a lot of partners and got a bunch of new artists. And yeah, creating content.
You've been creating content. So you produce your own music too?
Well, I executive produce. I work with incredible producers and beat makers and stuff like that. But I like to be in charge of the vibe.
Of the vibe.
The vibe sommelier.
Do you remember every song you've written?
No, I don't. That's the problem. I just try, but that's why I freestyle so well. Because I just...
Really?
Yeah, that's why I got so good at freestyle.
I imagine that it's tough to remember everything.
It is. That's why I just make shit up on the spot now, because I'll try to remember it and I'm like, fuck. Let me just freestyle, make something up on the spot, And that's what, got me sharp, That's one thing that Kweli really loved and appreciated. He's like, yo, this guy just comes up with shit on the top. And it was like, because I couldn't remember my lyrics, And I remember growing up watching people rap on radio shows and all my favorite rappers. I thought they were freestyling, So I'm like, I gotta rap like that off the spot, And I realized they're not. Nobody freestyles. That's a dying art,
Sure.
I know the greatest, like Supernatural and these people. I went to go study with them, the best at freestyling. People who are masters at improving.
What did you learn from them?
How to just listen, man. And listen and, find pockets and not,
Because they're fast, man. They come up with shit
see,
fast.
That's like, fuck rapping fast. I don't rap
no,
fast anymore.
No. I just mean they're fast in the sense
and thinking. But that used to be my go-to because I used to be nervous in my early days. Not now I see it back on my live shows. I used to rap really fast, because I would just get too nervous about silence. And that's what got me better as an artist is I learned how to
deal with silence.
Appreciate the silence in the music, because it's too much when you're just sitting there and you're like, that in the middle, people love that. They're very impressed by that. But it's like, what the fuck did you do? You just put a bunch of words together fast. That's not impressive anymore to me as an artist,
Is Talib your favorite artist?
He's one of them.
He's one of them.
He's very good.
He's great.
He's incredible, and he's only gotten better, and he's sharp, he's witty, and he has conviction, and that's one thing that I've admired more with time and artists, and they got to have conviction. They got to believe in what they're saying, the best artists and MCs, it's like you hear them, you believe that. You don't
believe
doubt
your
that.
Product, yeah.
Yeah, even think about a Tupac, right? He classic, right? Not the most technical necessarily, not the most artistic abstract MC, but when he speaks, you hear him. And he spoke with conviction, and you're like, damn, that's true. And he passed away at 26, he was saying this shit at
young,
24. Yeah. Biggie, these guys, they spoke and you listened, That's more impressive than your talent, And that's, I think, with time, people realize when you find your voice, it's like, yo, what the fuck are you saying, And you're saying a whole bunch of nothing. And that's what a lot of MCs suffer from. A whole bunch of nothingness.
I swear to God.
And even creating content, it's like, yeah, you're making content. What are you doing? What's your intention behind it?
I thank you for not coming to the last session, actually. I really do, because the timing seems to be right with things that are going on in my head with this new concept, and it's like, yeah, you want to be cool, you want to have a good restaurant, you want to be having like, you know, new things, but at the same time you're trying to build a business that lasts for a long time.
Right.
And you know, everybody likes shiny shit, but
you don't want to be a trend, you know, you want to be there to the end. You don't want to be
a trend. Exactly.
That's hard as an artist, man, you know, with monetizing again. Selling art, you know, I sell art essentially, right? Or now I guess I sell me. I sell, you know, the invitation into who I am, you know, through my art and stuff like that. But having to do something and make money from it, you know, without compromising, like that's not easy. Especially with like food now, everything is just so hip and fusion, right? All those cool words and hip words and hashtags. It's like people are doing, you know, way too much. It's like, you know, birria tacos. Birria tacos running the world.
Yeah,
you
and
know,
everybody,
it's like,
but the
then
thing
now it's done. Now what's next? It's like, yo, you know what's next is amazing stuff. Good stuff is gonna last. You know, good everything. Yeah. You know, that's why, like, again,
the product.
Yeah, like Brazilian food and all that. That's tradition, man. That's rice. That's beans. Insert meat here. Some kind of green. You know, a nice Caribbean soda. You know, like that's always going to be there.
The issue is, do you become a traditionalist with new views, right? Or do you just follow the tradition and try to make it the best possible?
I think it's a bit of both, and that's the whole battle, man. You know, because like I'm a traditionalist, right? But I innovate. What I've done has never been done, and that's why it's again difficult, or maybe not difficult, it's a task to like monetize it and sell it and tell people about it because they've never heard about it. There's none, you know, that's why I call my album NIKO.
Do you feel like, for example, like the Talib Kweli's, the Dave Chappelle's, do you feel that they've been put in that position just because of the way that they've innovated in their field, or do you think they're just consistent, you know, like you said, they've grown up through time, maturing, learning their craft, but they really didn't invent anything?
Definitely both. You know, Chappelle's a super innovator, you know, and how he has been doing things, and he's always been on the top of the creating new waves, you know, both of them, you know, and also tradition, you know, Kweli's traditionalist. He came in an era where it was very pure, and it was an era of conviction, you know, like you couldn't get away with the shit that they make now in the early 90s or like the mid 90s or, right, I guess late 90s and stuff. Like you had to stand for something.
Sure.
Now it's like people don't care anymore. They don't care even how good you are. They just want to be impressed. They want shiny things. Hey, they want birria tacos, you know, they want kimchi fries, you know, they want like all these like different things.
Yeah, they want to see really crazy menus.
Like you used to have to express, now you have to impress. You know, that's the bar right there.
Would you ever consider owning a restaurant?
Yes, I can't wait. I already have the first 3 names and the menus.
You have concepts already.
Oh, for sure, they're ready. It would be way too good.
It would be way too good.
Too good. That's the thing. That's why like I'm hesitant to go into other fields because I feel like it's going to overshadow the work I've done as an MC and stuff like that. And that's just me wrestling with the ideas in my head because it's like, yo, if I had a podcast, it's going to be way too good. And then I'm just not going to focus on rapping. Then I'm going to be the best podcaster in the world. You know?
I like that.
You know, if I have a restaurant, it's phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
It's going to be incredible.
So why don't we do a fucking item on the menu so that
we
you can show me how phenomenal it is?
Yeah, you know. Because it's about creating a vibe. Like, you know, man, like I love your restaurant. You know, it's a vibe. You created something.
It's a little different. Yeah.
It feels special. I don't like the ordering. That's just I don't, and it's not because of you. I hate that concept. That's a
you
new
like
concept.
Full service.
Yeah, I don't want to sit there and have to order and then
pigs that will be full service.
Yeah, you know.
And then the other pig Floyds, you could do a drive-thru.
Yeah, I don't want to have to pay, you know, because I feel like I'm limited in what I get. Like if you just let me sit down, I might get more stuff. Right. But if I'm just sitting there, I'm like, to meat combo, go. There's somebody behind me. It's like I don't want to be pressured into ordering. I don't like that new, like it's too, not just in your case. You know,
I'm learning about it because obviously I've been in the fast casual world with a food truck, with Pigza, and with Pig Floyd's, and now Pigza is a full service that happens, right? And then you have to think about all these other things that I've never thought of. Like, okay, so we have salads, we have appetizers, timing. We got to think about the digestibility of the pizza. We got to think about dessert and how difficult we're going to be doing desserts. Like,
these are good problems to have.
No, it's great problems.
Yeah,
you got to think about the music in the restaurant. You got to think about the temperature of the restaurant. I mean, there's a lot of things that people
absolutely
it takes to create that vibe.
That's what I'm saying. Like, imagine if I have to focus on that. Like, I would have come up with no rhymes. I'd just be like, yo, no, hold on, man. I don't like that chair, man. I don't like that mahogany. I need different wood. That's not the right wood. Yo, that's not the right bread.
You would be like that, probably.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
It would be probably the most expensive restaurant.
Yeah, it wouldn't, though. But I also would just like, I like little nooks.
You like simple.
I like nooks and crannies, bro. My favorite places I've been have been like beach restaurants, like feet in the sand. Yeah, I was just at this spot in Mexico in Oaxaca. I went to Oaxaca, Puerto Escondido, where mezcal was created. I love mezcal.
Okay.
That's my favorite, And I was like, I got to go to Oaxaca. Also, they created chocolate there. Pretty much, yeah.
Chocolate.
Yeah, so I went there and we just ate and shot a little food doc and videos, and we rented an incredible crib, and every day we're just going to eat out, and they have like crazy fancy like Michelin restaurants. I was like, I don't want none of that. I want a little, I want to go see Lupita, And then you go see Lupita, and she's like, ay, mi amor, qué cosa linda. She got a little dimple and stuff like that, and then I'm like, yo, I want the snapper. She's like, let me see how many we got. Like, that's the type of energy I need, Like, I don't want a Cheesecake Factory menu.
Right.
I need a short, simple menu. I don't want to have to open the menu and mad options.
One page.
Yeah. My restaurant, and I'm going to tell you right now, I decide for you. You don't get to pick what you're going to eat. I decide for you.
Wow.
It's like a vibe sommelier situation. We have vibe sommeliers.
You should call it that.
I might.
Vibe sommelier.
Yeah. And then... people come
people
and then
decide for you.
Yeah, like you tell them what you kind of like and don't like and your allergies, and a Somali would be like, all right, I got you. Let me see what we got, And then they come back and it's like, today we have fresh, we have fresh snapper, we have fresh this.
Okay.
It's always ever changing,
So you like a creative flow of a restaurant.
Yeah.
Changing every day.
Yeah, day-ish. Like,
day-ish?
Well, like, that's ambitious, I know.
It is very ambitious.
But it's also like, yo, wake up and go see your man, what he got, what the fisherman brought in today.
Sure.
What is the produce looking like?
Sure.
It's like custom.
I would build it in California, okay?
I'll be way too expensive.
I know, but I would tell you because the produce there is fantastic.
Produce there is fantastic.
If I asked you to build an item in our store, what would it be?
Well, where? Pig Floyd's?
Yeah.
I have to think about that one, but...
Would it involve brisket? Would it involve pork? Would it involve pork belly, ribs? I don't know.
Mamportial?
Yeah.
Something like that. We gotta do like a NIKO Mamportial, where you have like...
With meat.
Yeah, and I just fell in love with Mamportial in Puerto Rico 2 weeks, like last time I was there.
Mamportial is great.
Because I'm like, wait, so it's rice and beans put together?
Yeah.
With some extra little, sometimes olive,
Yeah.
And I just got addicted to eating Mamportial, and I was like, Mamportial and mofongo, and I went double. Double starch. Yeah, I was like, that's a lot. Everything, I'm just like, Mamportial, mommy. I was like, Mamportial Mafia. I started calling myself Mamportial Mafia,
Mamportial Mafia. Thanks for coming in, man.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it.
That was great.
That's great. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm going to sit here till you subscribe. Hello? Subscribe.